What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a little bit of a different video for you guys. As you can see, we're inside. We're not outside in the car or anywhere like that. I'm going to answer some of the questions I've gathered over the past month so far on my YouTube and Instagram, and I kind of want to go over them. I did want to do a live, but I wasn't feeling like doing an actual live setting because it kind of gets kind of hectic reading the questions and catching up and not giving everybody enough time to actually get their questions out, even though it's in real time. So I'm going to start down the list, and hopefully you guys can keep up. And if you have any more questions in regards to any of my answers that I'm giving to you guys, please comment below and feel free to discuss amongst each other. So first up on the list, we have a debate that has been asked, a question that has been asked and debated for quite some time is, do you consider going with lower downpipes being more efficient and a lot cheaper than going full downpipes, and why? So for the longest I've been on lower downpipes, and I've said that this car does not need full downpipes. And the reason being is because early on in the staging, well, first of all, tuning has come a long way to be able to take advantage of the full downpipes, but all we saw in the early stages of people with full downpipes is smoke, injectors going out, blowing out motors, oil consumptions, blowing out turbos. So that was one of my first things that made me realize that I wanted to stay on lower downpipes as long as I wanted to. But now that we've seen where tuning has come across and all the things that we can put in place to actually prevent some of these things from happening, like for example an old catch can, that kind of thing, can prevent you from having smoke. A catted downpipe, we have catted options right now. You know, AMS, Fast Intentions, Z1 I believe also offers a catted option. Those are some of the things that we can take advantage of to kind of reduce some of those dilemmas that people dealt with in the past. Full downpipes, let's be honest guys, I don't know if you guys ever been in traffic with full downpipes, but the smell is terrible. It smells like, I don't want to describe it, what it smells like, but it smells terrible. You don't want to roll your windows down on full downpipes. But recently, Fast Intentions, they've posted quite a few really good looking full downpipes that they've installed in customer cars, and also AMS just came out recently with a full cat downpipe option, and it put up 20 peak wheel horsepower over the lowers, and it definitely carried the power over the lower delta for a little bit longer, and actually a little bit higher entirely through the power range. So that looked really nice on the graph, and I can only imagine what kind of numbers that car must be putting down on the road. So I'm really looking forward to possibly upgrading my downpipes to a full catted downpipe here in the future. But I know we've talked about that debate for a long time, and I think it's time to finally say it doesn't really matter what you go with. I want to be able to correct that from my understanding of back in the day and where things are now. Hardware and software has improved from a tuning aspect, and also the VR30. We've got a lot of people making parts for this car, and to be honest, this car is going to be released in Japan here not before long. It's only going to be a matter of time before we start seeing, unfortunately, a lot of replicas. A lot of parts being made though, but we're going to see a lot more people paying attention to this platform, and it's going to definitely gain a lot of clout, quote unquote. But we'll definitely see a lot more clout on this platform, and I think it'll be good. It'll be good to put the VR30 on the map. I think for the longest time, each one of you guys who I see beat several cars on the road or in the video, by the way, Booster right now has a controversial video out, him beating a GTR, and all you can see is the GTR fans in the comment section. You know, they're in disbelief and this and that, and that's understandable. But at the end of the day, we got to understand that these cars will surprise a lot of people, and people on the road don't expect that. From a four-door family sedan to the little luxurious coupe Q60, you know, they don't expect that. So it's kind of nice to see we're starting to put our name out there, whether it's controversial or not. All publicity is good publicity, so just keep that in mind. I know people are always going to be negative towards, you know, any kind of success that you have, so keep that in mind, guys. Keep it pushing, keep getting those cars tuned, keep getting those parts, keep pushing the platform. As an advocate from early on in the platform, luckily I was able to, I wouldn't say luckily, but I was able to put my journey on YouTube, and some of you guys have been able to watch my videos, watch my journey, watch what I've been through, and maybe some mistakes that I've made along the way so that you don't repeat them, some DIYs that I've been able to help you on. So I'm really glad that I picked up this platform, and it's one of those things where it's like my niche. There's not a whole lot of YouTube channels out there for a Q60, so a lot of the algorithm comes back to my channel. I've been fortunate enough to actually receive a lot of positive feedback because of that. So more so this last part of this section that I'm in this video, I just want to thank you all really quick for being able to, you know, watch my videos and giving me any kind of feedback. All feedback is welcome. I know sometimes we get a little spicy in the comments, but that's all right. All comments are welcome. So next up, we have a question that I get asked all too often in the recent videos, and it's probably based off what I've said, is when are you going back on the 85? Guys, it's happening. In the next month or so, I plan on going back on the 85. The reason being is just that I told you guys, I've been moving and, you know, a lot of change. I've been going through a lot of change in my personal life. I really haven't had time. You see my videos have slowed down quite a bit. I haven't had enough time barely for myself, let alone the car. So any little bit of time that I get, there's a lot of things that I got to take care of on a day-to-day basis, and my work life has changed drastically. I'm in management now, so it's a little bit different. I have a lot more responsibility. Doesn't mean I want to neglect YouTube, but you know, life happens, guys, and this is now my full-time thing that I do. It's just like a side thing that I do to help out people online and also contribute to a community. But other than that, I will be going on E85 soon. Look out for that. Yes, I'm going back to the AMS kit, which is the flex fuel kit, and now it's even better because there's a wire that connects to your ECU harness, and you can actually just change the ECU automatically changes the fuel for you, adjusts the timing and compensates automatically for you. So you no longer are forced to change the maps manually based on your ethanol content. That's old and past. Just pump your 85 and be on your way, which I think is going to be a lot nicer to have on the platform. So look out for low pressure fuel pump install, high pressure fuel pump install, flex fuel kit install, and of course retune. And yeah, that should be something nice to see back on a 500 wheel tune for the most part. So other than that, there goes. I hope that answers you guys' question. So this next question goes hand in hand with the last question. You were so close to running a 10-second pass. Do you think you'll go for it again? Absolutely. That's the whole point behind going E85, guys. I know it's going to be hot as hell down here in Texas still, but it'll be cooler in the boost, quote-unquote, boost weather months. I'll be going back on the 85 just for that, to possibly try and hit a 10 on street tires on an all-wheel drive Q60. My enemy here might be weight, so I may be taking out a seat out at the very least if I have to. I'd like to do it with a full interior, but you know, some of these things happen. So my best pass so far has been an 11.19 at 126 miles an hour, just about on run flat tires. So if I did that in about 50-degree weather on E32, guys, I did that on E32. So you can imagine what kind of pass that was, and that was on a draggy, of course. I wanted to get an official time slip for a 10-second pass. Now, is it possible? We will see. We will see. I hope you guys are rooting for me. It's going to be, I'm probably going to break something along the process. But here's one thing I am doing. I'm reaching out to SPL Suspension to possibly do some nice upgrades in the suspension. I know that some of the things that are neglected usually are in the suspension, and I definitely want to address that. We're talking traction rods, control arms, end links, that kind of thing. Everything that's adjustable. I want my car to be a nice daily that can go to the track on the weekend and whoop everybody's ass that I came to go for. And not, of course, I'm not going to beat high horse. Let's not bite on more than we can chew, but I know who I can beat and who I can't beat from a dig. From a dig, the car is something else. I will let you guys know that as of right now, with launch control, my 60-foot is almost at a 1.5. And it is scary and very sketchy off the line. I might be looking forward to possibly going on a bead lock here pretty soon for racing. That's long-term goals, of course, but you know, it's something that I can look for in the future on the channel possibly. As you know, maybe some Bellic wheels. By the way, shout out to Joseph. He's got some really nice Bellic wheels in the rear. I will definitely like to run 4 of those in the front and rear as well, with some slicks, and see what kind of traction we can get, what kind of pass we can put down. But at that point, I might be a little scared for my axles, considering how hard the car is launching right now. But either way, we're still going to send it. I don't care. I think the axles are probably strong enough to handle the torque on just the 85. So we'll see what happens there. So next up, I got a question that I just answered pretty much, but I'm still going to ask it to give one of you guys a chance to have your question come through this video. So you used to post 4 to 5 videos a month. Now you're in 1 month you even posted 8. Wow, thank you for noticing. Like as I just explained, I'm going through a huge transitional period in life right now. So it's just gonna take me a minute. I'll be back. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers, guys. I barely put enough videos, and you guys are still subscribing. You guys are still watching. So man, I'm happy. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot. So, by the way, I'm hoping to this person I can give him a lot more content in the future. I told myself I'm not going to disclose any names because I know I did that once, and the guy came back at me. He says I didn't want my name out there like that. It was just an Instagram name. So, for privacy reasons, I won't disclose any of you guys' names on Instagram or real names, whatever the case may be. Not that it matters, but just want to respect your privacy. So next question I actually do like because this is something that I'm doing in my car really soon. The question is, do you listen to music? Have you ever thought about putting subwoofers in your car? And honestly, guys, I love music. So as you can tell, I have some really cool, really good high-end speakers on my personal PC. And music is always a huge part of my life. So I am definitely going to be putting, actually sitting right there in front of me. It's a surprise for you guys. I linked a sneak peek on Instagram on my story. It's a couple of subwoofers that I am putting in. They're 6.5 inch. They're made by Scar Audio, no longer being, the subwoofer itself is still made, but the box that they used to make for it is no longer available. Sorry about the background noise, my other phone's going off. But I will be putting some really small subs in the car just for some sound quality. The bass in the Bose system is a little bit lower than I would like. I like a little bit of bass in my music, so we're gonna put that on there. It's not gonna be anything fancy, out of this world, crazy trunk setup. No, it's gonna be easily accessible. When I want to go to the track, I can take it off. And we can go to the track without weight. We can even take everything out of the trunk with no problem. So this is going to be a very, very, I would say, useful item. I'll get the use out of it for sure. I'll get my bass, and I'll get be able to take it out of the trunk at any time that I want to. So it's not like a space constraint thing where I can take it out of the car. In my past Q50, I had a huge 12-inch sundown sub that used to knock the hell out of the trunk, and I don't want to rattle any trunk either. I just want enough sound clarity where and good bass where I feel like I'm in the studio. And the Bose system does that, but the bass is it's almost there. You have to crank it up really high. You have to mess with the settings quite a bit. I think these subs are going to keep me there. So I don't want to rattle on about music or sound systems, but it's something that I do plan doing for my Q50 or my Q60 just because I like music. So there it is. If you didn't know that about me, now you do. Next question. Okay, this is a fair question. We always see you doing performance mods and mods related to suspension and exhaust and that kind of thing, but have you ever thought about making your Q60 look a little bit different by adding some aesthetics? So that is a very fair question. I'm actually going to be doing a carbon fiber diffuser here pretty soon, possibly a carbon lip, but the thing is, man, the dips here in Dallas are serious. Anytime the road dips, I feel like I'm gonna wreck something just because my car sits pretty low as it is now. It may not look like it, but it's pretty low to the ground. I am on 18s at the end of the day, even though I'm on a 40 sidewall tire, but it's still pretty low. There's a lot of dips here in the road in Texas. The roads are nice, but there's a lot of like dips crossing intersections and on the highway and that kind of thing. So I'm kind of scared spending the money for a carbon fiber lip and then getting wrecked a day later, which is why I have the unpainted one on there, which is starting to come off from all the speed runs that I do. So I'm actually got to tighten it back down. But I definitely will be doing a carbon fiber diffuser from GBN. By the way, shout out to Mark Sotelo. He's the one who I always got my carbon fiber parts from. And we'll see how that looks in the car. I think it'll give the rear end a nice look considering I already have a factory carbon spoiler. And maybe a wrap in the future. I think I've always wanted Nardo gray. It's no secret. I've mentioned it on my channel a couple times. Hell, I still have the roll lingering around. I sold it, and then I still have another one. So I think what we're gonna do is go to Nardo gray possibly in the future, or maybe a darker variation of Nardo gray. I think that would really look really good with my car, considering with the red interior and the red accents with the wheels and stuff like that. And maybe are we gonna paint the Volk T37s? Maybe in the future, maybe. Although that color would highly complement like a darker shadow gray wrap or something like that. Who knows? Stay tuned. I'm sure you guys will see it in the channel. Comment below what color wrap should I go with my car. I think a dark Nardo would be really nice in my car. So let me know what you guys think. So this next question is about video editing. This is a random question, but it's actually a good one. I'm not a pro at video editing by any means. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws when it comes to editing, but I do try. I taught myself how to do everything when it comes to Lightroom, Photoshop. I create my own thumbnails, my own logos, my own everything. Simply because it's when you copyright, you're stealing somebody else's work, right? So I don't want to be the type of person where I'm coming from the ground up, building my brand, which is Enthusiast POV at this point, and it is a brand when you think about it. All the work you put into it essentially is your own business. So you know, I had to teach myself editing software. There's so many that I tried out. I don't have a Mac. I had an iMac before, and that's not something that I liked. So actually went with a Windows PC. I built it myself. This is the second ever PC I ever built. The first one was kind of like halfway me doing it. This one I fully built it. I just bought the parts, put it together, turned right on, never had an issue with it. It's a pretty beefy setup. Maybe one day I'll make a video going over the specs, but it's somewhere in the $2,000 to $3,000 range computer. It'll handle video editing, gaming like nobody's business. It's pretty flawless and when it runs. Other than that, I use what's the name of the software here? I don't even know the damn name of the software. So we use what's called DaVinci Resolve 15 Studio. So it's a Windows-based software. It's a pretty professional suite. You can use it. It's not user-friendly for any beginner. I would recommend editing on your phone, on your iMovie, or if you have a Mac, use iMovie because it's very user-friendly. This software, Resolve, is not easy whatsoever to start out with, but there's some pretty good features on there that I think if you get them down, you would enjoy a couple of things that, you know, sets you apart from anybody else on YouTube. And although I haven't gotten to that point yet, I do try here and there. If you guys saw from my last video with the teaser that I did for the Infiniti Q50 drag race event, the music kind of matched up nicely with the shots. That's something I'm kind of working. I'm trying to do better on, and I got to get a better camera as well for some shots. I didn't even shoot those in 120 frames. I kind of just slowed it down while I was editing to kind of make it look like I was shooting it at 120 frames. But other than that, I think Resolve is the software for me. I enjoy it. It's easy to use, but I don't want to go on that. If you have any more questions in regards to the software, comment below. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And if you're starting your own YouTube channel, any tips and tricks that I can help you with, just know that you guys can start actually with the phone, and just any editing software on your phone works. Just anything you put your content out there, it's gonna work. I think I'll still only have about 70 videos on YouTube, maybe 75 if that, and it all started, the first couple I think were with a phone or a really old $20 Amazon camera. And you could tell the difference when I bought a GoPro and updated to a vlogging camera, which is what I am on right now. And I do apologize for the lighting. I'm in my bedroom right now and I don't have a whole lot of lighting yet, but other than that, guys, let's move on to the next section. All right, for this next question, we have a question in regards to the reliability of the VR30. This is actually a topic I want to touch on. I already touched on about it briefly, but I want to touch on a little bit more. So this might be a lengthy one, so have a seat, get your popcorn ready. I did blow my motor at 16,000 miles on this car. And I wouldn't say blew the motor to the point where the motor would not run. No. Apparently I ran low on oil on the car under normal driving conditions, and ultimately the car shut down. I couldn't get it started, so I finally got the car started. Something happened with the battery, or the ECU had to be reset, whatever. When I started the car, it had a knock. It had a rod knock in it. One of the rods apparently was bent about 2 millimeters, which is not a really big bent, but it's enough to cause a knock in your engine. So my motor was replaced at 16,000 miles. Other than that, the only issue I really had was my turbos were the ones that were consuming the oil, and that issue was never really addressed when my engine was replaced. So I still had the same issue after I replaced my motor, which is one of the reasons I never went back to E85, and it's simply because it was never addressed. Yeah, they did me a solid by replacing my motor, but they never addressed the source of the problem. So it's kind of like they really did nothing. And I went through a whole ordeal where the car was at the dealership for 35 days. You guys want to watch the video, click the thumbnail, the little thing popping up here on the top of the screen, maybe this side, I can't remember which side it is, but you guys will see it pop up. That's the video. I kind of go a little bit into what happened, but other than that, yes, I got a new motor. The turbos, I think I'm going to go to a bigger turbo, guys, in terms of possibly the RT turbos is what I'm thinking about, or maybe waiting for a company to come out with a turbo kit. Really, there's only a couple of turbos that we can really use in the space that we have. I know there's some information out there where the Garrett 2860Rs and the Garrett 2867Rs are the ones that we could fit in that area, but we need a custom manifold made to be able to mate it to our block. So is that going to come out soon? I don't know. If it does in the future, I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. So it is a good option. At that point, I'm guessing if you want something like that to get the full potential, you're going to have to build the motor. We're talking pistons, rods, bearings, the whole nine, ARP studs. At the very least, we're talking minimal stuff. So I think the engine is already reliable and is good for safely on a daily basis. You can reliably run 500 wheel horsepower, 550 foot-pounds of torque on a daily basis. That is the absolute maximum that will run and, you know, keep the car safe. And I feel like 550 foot-pounds of torque might be a little high for me personally. If I can keep anywhere between 500 wheel and 525 foot-pounds of torque to the tire, I'll be happy with that. I think any higher than that is just asking for trouble, especially on a stock motor. If you have a heavy foot, or if you just, you know, beat it on the weekends, you might be all right. But that's just what I prefer to go with. So that's my goal on E85. Go back to 500 wheel, 530, 520 torque if possible. I'm sure it's probably going to be a little bit higher. And we'll see what happens. I am definitely going to go for a 10-second pass. Hopefully it happens. If not, then who knows. But as far as reliability and maintenance, I've changed just about every fluid on the car. I've changed the rear diff and I've changed the transfer case fluid. Next up, I got to do the front transfer case. Not the front transfer case, I'm sorry. The front diff and the transmission. So right now, when I'm shifting into fifth, my transmission is flaring up in terms of it feels like a boost cut, but it's really not a boost cut. It's just that I think the fluid is just done for. And here's probably why. My car, I have 160 track slips on this car. I have about 113 draggy full quarter-mile passes on this car, about another 68 mile passes, and about another 30 or 40 0 to 60 attempts, plus all the street driving and racing and abuse that I give it. And I've never addressed the trans fluid. I don't know what kind of condition it's in, but that's the first thing that I'm going to do is address the transmission fluid by going with AmSoil ATF. It's probably one of the best transmission fluids out there. You can put an automatic transmission. It's a little bit pricey, but hopefully it gives me those results that I need. Overall, I think my trans is just getting a little too hot, especially in the Texas heat and with the power that I'm putting down. I asked my tuner and, you know, the folks at AMS, and that's exactly what they say. Their shop car had the exact same issue when they were making good power, and, you know, it was probably warm outside. So yeah, look forward to seeing that video. I'm going to be putting some AmSoil in the trans, and I'm also going to be putting Modal 300 again in the front diff, just like I did in the rear diff. Or I may just upgrade both to 8000s. I don't really know what the difference is, but I've been told 300 and 8000. There's not a whole lot of difference between them. I'll definitely do my research and bring that to you guys. But so far, that's really the only maintenance that I've done on the car. Reliability. Oh, very early on, I broke an axle. And I did like a little one-wheel PO type thing on an all-wheel drive car, and I went sideways and the axle buckled and definitely destroyed the axle. So that's something else that I have to address, that I had to address at the time. And the axle was actually, I got one for like a 2,000 mile used one for half the price of a new one, so that made sense at the time to do that. And yeah, so far the car has been sound. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I just named off, but with the right support and the right dedication, the right attitude, you can still you know, get out of those situations and like it never happened. I'm still looking forward to beating on my car daily or going back and pushing the platform. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I know a lot of you guys wondering if I've gone somewhere, written the car off. I almost did. I really did, simply because I just didn't really have, I didn't feel like it was for one, I didn't feel like it was a really good car community. There's a lot of little things that bothered me about the community for a while, in terms of like people at each other's throats over little things that kind of made you like steer away, like, whoa, what are these guys doing? These guys are crazy. These guys just want to argue all day over little parts that they never even heard about. There's a lot of lack of knowledge on a turbo car, especially. I'm still learning, but there's a lot of guys coming onto the platform and want to throw their hands up like they're Billy Badass and they don't know one thing. But other than that, you know, I feel like recently I've been networking with a lot of good people that have been giving me not only the opportunity to see things a little bit different, but also look at things from a different angle. I've been looking at things from a different angle, and what kind of niche that I have here. I have the opportunity to do something really good, and I'm going to continue to do it. I need more time. I need more hours in the day to dedicate more time to YouTube right now. But I know I always say this. It's just be patient with me. The content will come. So I'm going to go over 2 more questions, and the first one actually doesn't have a whole lot to do with us, but I get asked this question a lot. When are you going to race a stock GTR? There's 2 different kinds of GTRs that you can run stock. The 2009 to 2011 model is a little bit slower than 2011 or the 2012 to present models. They're getting a little faster every time, but there was a little bit of a transition period there where they got a little bit faster. So could I beat a stock GTR? I beat one before. It's not hard to beat a stock GTR in a tuned Q60. As much as it's a hard pill to swallow, you GTR guys, have a seat. If a Q60 or a Q50 beats you on the street or on the drag strip from a dig, from a roll, whatever the case may be, just take the loss. Just because you have the most expensive car doesn't always mean you're going to win. It comes down to driving sometimes. Yeah, automatic driving, I know, right? But you'd be surprised. Some of us really mess up during driving automatic sometimes. So, if you take your L's proudly. I always post my L's. I have no shame in losing. I mean, well, I have a ton of wins on my channel. There's no reason why we can always post our losses and make sure that people see the truth. Because at the end of the day, when you vlog and put yourself out there, people want to see that too. They don't just want to see you win all the time. So a stock GTR, yes, I beat one. Will I race one? If you guys will have a stock GTR that I can run, I don't care what year it is. Stock GTR though. Don't bring me no freaking full bolt-on E85 GTR. I'm gonna get my ass whipped all day. But bring me a stock GTR. If you know somebody who has one, is willing to get the video for the clout, for YouTube, for the channel, for the culture, put it on my channel. Give me a DM. Put it in the comments. And I'm in Dallas, Texas. Let me know what we can do so we can get that going. But that was one of the questions. The second question that I have from one of my followers is, are you ever going to race Boost in Motion on the track? Guys, he's tuned now. You guys, he's tuned. He's tuned. The guy's freaking fast. He's already out here beating GTR. I don't know if I want to race Boost. No, I'm playing. But yeah, hopefully opportunity presents itself. Boost in Motion, he's a great guy. I talk to him just about every single day, and I would love to race him on a track so you guys can get that content. Whoever wins, I really don't care. As you guys saw, in the teaser video that I posted, I lost the race here at the end. That was my car versus an E85 rear-wheel drive on a slick. The car had a little bit more, of course, more parts, and it was faster. Most definitely, it was faster. He outdrove me and everything. So you can lose to anybody. It's just the name of the game. Either you put down a good pass or you don't. Some things just happen. But other than that, guys, hope you guys get a little bit of perspective on my YouTube channel from this video and some of my opinions about the platform and that kind of thing. I know I probably rambled on a little bit on a couple of topics, but other than that, if you guys do want to see a video on the setup of the PC that I have here, which by the way is beastly, let me know. I'm a nerd myself. I love computers, love technology, so do not mind posting some videos of the PC and stuff like that. But if you like today's video, go ahead and give it a like. Matter of fact, if you're subscribed to this channel, give it a like. Like 80% of people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give it a like. See you guys in the next one.